What's up, guys? Welcome back to another read of Nintendo Power. We're diving into a new issue. Excited to get into this. This one is from August 1996. It is volume 87 with Tetris Attack on the cover. We got Yoshi on here. Looks like there's a Super Mario 64 10-page review. We're going to fully dive into this issue, reading the articles, maybe sharing some experiences. Can't wait to find some new games as well. So let's get into this episode.
Books, guides, magazines, and everything in between. It's about video games, and that's what I read. Yeah, that's what I read. Russ's Retro Read.
All right, again, we got this nice cover right here with Tetris Attack, in-depth of Kirby Superstar, FIFA Soccer 97, Urban Strike. There's previews on Gretzky's 3D Hockey, Donkey Kong Land 2, Power Rangers Zeo Battle Racers, Mole Mania, and it does says head-to-head Blockbuster. I don't think they mean Blockbuster video, but let's dive into this and see what we have. Here's a new ad to sign up for Nintendo Power, geared towards baseball fans. Think of it as your coach giving you all the right signals. When your coach signals bunt, you bunt. When he signals steal, you steal. When he scratches his butt, you get the idea. Why all the signals? Because you want to win. Please open your eyes when you swing the bat. That swing stunk like my... Here's the fast pitch. Subscribe to Nintendo Power now and get 3 Ken Griffey Jr.'s winning run Jelly Slammers. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Like the Pogs. These are maybe like a different consistency since it's a Jelly Slammer. And a Slammer board free, which is this here. Turn this card over, fill it out, send it in, then you'll get all the goodies and a full year of Nintendo Power. All the tips, secrets, and signals you can handle. And I get hit that ball to the moon. That's his signal there. Choke up on the bat, or I'll wring your neck. These ads are great. So maybe we'll eventually get to this issue with Ken Griffey Jr. on there. All right, Tetris Attack right here, and then we have a breakdown. This is a little bit a later issue, me covering on the series, so it's laid out a little bit different, so it'll be interesting to see what they changed as for segments and stuff like that on this issue here. Tetris Attack. You'll flip over the most compulsively playable puzzles, game in eons. Check out our panel discussion on tips and tactics, plus some special hints from a certified Tetris Attack ace. Nice. Gives you your breakdowns, full coverage of Tetris Attack, Oscar, Kirby Superstar, Mario 64, FIFA, Soccer 97, Urban Strike, special features, previews, Epic Center, and every issue they still have Players Pulse, classified information, Counselor's Corner, the Arena, now playing Pack Watch, Players Poll Contest, what's in the next issue, and your game list as well. Players Pulse right here. Looks like we got some nice envelope artwork right here. Some Chrono Trigger, Kirby right there. Looks great. I forget what, maybe that's NBA Jam. Oh no, like college sports, CS, maybe. I don't know. Let's read some stuff and see. Ad man out. I just want to let you know that you will not need commercials for this new powerhouse, the Nintendo 64. It practically sells itself. What with its cool graphics and smooth gameplay, after looking at May's issue coming next issue page, I couldn't wait to get the June issue. I was so excited to be able to catch a glimpse of the future. When I got the issue, I was practically jumping for joy. Good job, Nintendo. You made a winner. Nintendo 64 rules. Looks like they didn't do any, usually they have a response to that, but I guess they were excited because they're promoting the new system out. Hey, wise guys, I just received volume 85 and it was quite disappointed to see 31 whole pages on Nintendo 64 games. I like to know about the N64, but 31 pages? I'd rather have full coverage of Super NES games. I was also thinking that if you made your response in Player's Pulse more sarcastic, it would make reading this section more interesting. Geo from the internet. Geo, we were disappointed about the 31 pages as well. We would have preferred to use all 108 pages for the N64. Read on. I guess serves them right? RPG overload. It seems to me that your magazine has begun to cater to RPG players. Maybe this is because there are a lot of RPGs being made. I don't know. I would be happy to read pages after page of N64 news and look through pictures after pictures of N64 screenshots. That's from Andrew Beer from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Okay. What are the wild stories we have here? Hurry up and wait. I just got my Nintendo Power and I love the N64 coverage. The games look great. Can't wait to get an N64. Meanwhile, my friend has a Sony PlayStation that I play on weekends. It's okay, but doesn't come close to being as good as the N64. The games are good, but they take forever to load. I hate loading. I calculated the loading time on one game. The average playtime was an hour, and there was 7 minutes of loading throughout. That's 12% of the time spent loading. I'm glad the N64 will not have loading and will not be CD-based. Brian from St. Louis, Missouri. They're really hammering home on like, hey, N64 is wicked good. You gotta get it when it comes out. It's way better than the PlayStation here. I feel like there's a little bit bias, but what else? You look marvelous. Not. In my volume 83, I came across a letter from Jonathan Ratcliffe, who wrote concerning the contents of Player's Pulse and how it all says the same thing. How great your mag is. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's great, but I kind of get bored reading letter after letter of love your magazine and I love this and this and this. If people have something interesting to say, then print it. Remember, self-praise is a good thing, but don't overdo it. Brandon from British Columbia. Interesting take for sure. What we got here? Let's see. Is this person responding to... Not sure what order this is, but we'll read it here with Women in Video Games Part 3. Back in Player's Pulse for Volume 77, Sarah LeBray complained about video games and always showing girls in dresses with pink bows in their hair. This touched off a flood of mail, both pro and con. Here are two more examples. Sarah LeBray, she really is dead wrong. A good example of just how wrong is Samus Aran from Super Metroid. Samus doesn't seem too weak. In Super Street Fighter 2, Cammy's strength may surprise you. In Mortal Kombat 2, Katana and Melina seem to be contenders. I admire that gal, Sarah LeBray. You ask me why, amigos? Because she's defending what's right. It would be better if they would put more gals in fighting games and other kinds of games. They have the right. It's just that you guys are oozing with too much machismo. Where I come from, a guy treats ladies with respect. DJ Nike from Cagas, Puerto Rico. These comments are wild. Definitely amped up from the last Player's Pulse that we read. Certainly interesting. I do enjoy the artwork here. Is great. We'll move on to something else here. The power charts. What do we got here? Ken Griffey Jr. pulls a rare feat this month, and he slugs his way onto the top 20 chart twice. Meanwhile, eager gamers have pushed Super Mario 64 to the upper reaches of the most wanted chart. Ecstatic reviewers are already calling it the greatest game of all time. You can be the judge when Super Mario 64 and the N64 debut in September. Here's your top 20 games right here. Super Mario RPG, Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Request, and Chrono Trigger taking the top 3 spots. On Game Boy, we have Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, Donkey Kong Land, and Tetris right there. Wow, and Virtual Boy, top 5. That's probably all the games out on the Virtual Boy at that time. Very interesting on that. Wario Land is number 1. They just did the top 1. But we also have Mario Tennis, Galactic Pinball, Golf, and 3D Tetris. Coming in with the most wanted NES games, Nintendo 64. Well, not just games. Okay, so it's just most wanted. Anything. System games, doesn't matter. So N64 is on the top. Super Mario 64. Super Mario RPG. Ken Griffey Jr.'s Winning Run. Cruisin' USA and N64. Okay. Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Killer Instinct. Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. Doom. And Dragon Quest 4. Oh, interesting here. And they also have Germany's top 5. They're popular here. They're popular there. Hey, these games are hits everywhere. Which games do you like best? Make your voice heard by sending in the player's poll card at the back of the issue. So Germany's top 5 is Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest, Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Secret of Evermore, and Earthworm Jim 2. Pretty good list right here. And now I'm looking, they have more letters. Letters continued. It's an interesting layout here for us since they changed it up with the later issue. Behind the scenes. While I think that it is good to preview new Nintendo systems and have occasional articles on game designs, game making, and online services, I also believe that putting things of this nature in a game review magazine, you're beginning to get away from the original focus of Nintendo Power. Might I suggest a separate publication for behind the scenes aspects of Nintendo? In short, I think that Nintendo Power should concentrate more on game playing info than anything else. Jason Boone, Rocky Mountain, North Carolina. E3 excitement as well. We got 2 photos here. Someone playing, I guess it's Matthew playing the N64. Matthew Werner of Rockport, Texas grabbed some serious gaming glory when he jetted to the Electronic Entertainment Expo in LA. The Volume 80 Grand Prize winner had such a great time that he passed up a trip to Disneyland in favor of an extra day at the show, where Pilot Wing 64 flew him straight to 7th heaven. A visit to Planet Hollywood and a drive through Beverly Hills, like in Cruisin' USA, but slower, rounded out a once-in-a-lifetime experience. This guy gave up a day trip to Disneyland. He's like, I'll play some more video games over there. Pretty good. But it's interesting to see. So he won the contest of in Volume 80. So it's great to see that, you know, the people that win, they recognize later issues. So you're not like, do people really win this? Shows right there. I guess they do. All right, moving on to Tetris Attack right here. Loving the art style. Get ready for fast and furious flippin' fun. An irresistible blend of nonstop action and pure puzzle power. Tetris Attack will keep you glued to your controller for hours. Colorful graphics, great music, and plenty full of tips from Yoshi himself make this password backpack a must for all fun fans. You'll flip. Trust us, whoever coined the phrase maximum replay value must have had Tetris Attack in mind. Your goal is to eliminate panels by lining up 3 or more. Do this by sliding panels left or right, or by flipping neighborhooding panels. 7 different play modes, 100 different speeds, and 3 difficulty levels will challenge everyone from rank novice to nimble-fingered pros. Can't say I ever played this one, Tetris Attack. Might have to add it to one of the live streams. Panel Panic. Tetris Attack only 5 basic panels, plus the exclamation panel in versus mode. But those 5 different panels make for endless, challenging gameplay. Rows of new panels are constantly erupting from the bottom of the screen. If they reach the top, it's curtains for you. Gain time and win points by clearing piles of panels. A buddy from Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, is always on hand to cheer you on. And you get a couple screenshots right here. I love this water piranha plant. Very cool art right there. Clearing a row of 3 panels will open up some space, but will scarcely slow and speedily scrolling the screen. One way to halt the action for a few seconds is to create combos, which clear at least 4 panels at once. These combos can take many forms, including a row of 4 or 5 identical panels, parallel rows of 3 identical panels, and right angle formations of 5 or more panels. It gives you a breakdown here on how to do some combos as well. What's this little side section? I want my Tetris attack. Your typical Nintendo Pro is a steely-eyed, cynical soul given to quoting Dirty Harry and drinking his milk straight from a dirty glass. Ever since Tetris Attack hit town, though Nintendo's noobs have gone absolutely bonkers over the tumbling tiles, here are just a few reasons for the mania. Gorgeous game. Puzzle with a pal and solo switcheroo. So they're kind of telling you why you should grab Tetris Attack, apparently. Hot new game. Looks like we got a little bit more. Again, loving this art. I always love the side art and stuff on the magazine. And this is the interesting new layout where they have the main topic here with these side panels. It looks like is that throughout the whole magazine? Nope, just on certain reviews there, but breaks it up pretty nice here. Looks like you have time trials, a versus mode, stage clear. This gives you little tips right here. Finally flip the triangle right for a big chain reaction. So it's showing here because you'll have this lined up. Flip that over. Complete your setup by flipping the diamond left again. Second move, the diamond left. So I'll give you some tips and tricks on how to play the game in case you were like, I'm scared of this puzzle game. I can't get good. Look at that guy. Wow. That's some wild art right there, the Koopa Trooper. Very neat. Yeah, it's like cutscenes or something in here. Say, I never played this game before. Tetris Attack might have to make a Let's Play. Yeah, they got a good amount of coverage of Tetris Attack. Stands out nicely with these bright colors too. I won't go read every single thing on here, but it basically just breaks down how to play the game, what you have to expect, and some tips and tricks on here. There's Yoshi right there. Why is this one upside down? It must be some questions or something that you can answer. And it's like, here's the answers. Power challenge. What is this here? And you can enter the Nintendo Power Tetris Attack Challenge. Have you come down with Tetris Attack yet? Do you see yellow stars in your sleep and pine away over that mist finish? Or where's it go over? Oh, it continues over here. Weird how they broke this up. Do you pine over the missed 10-panel combo? Then you have the stuff to compete in the Nintendo Power's first ever Tetris Attack Challenge. Finish the stage clear in less than an hour. Averaging less than 2 minutes per stage, there's a room for error. But not much. You'll have to play straight through to meet this difficult goal, because using the password will reset your time. 4 super power-up stamps will go to the first 20 who can meet this timely challenge. Time trial high score. Set your game to hard with a speed level of 10 and try to reach 3,000 points before your 2 minutes are up. 4 superpower stamps will go to the first 20 entries that attain this difficult goal. We got finished puzzle mode in less than 2 hours. You'll have more time here because you'll have to figure out 60 daunting challenges. In this mode, the password saves your time. 4 superpower stamps will go to the first 20 entries that meet this lofty goal. And the prize is Super Power Stamps are as good as cash when ordering from the Nintendo Power Super Supplies catalog. And how do you get the catalog? Simple, just subscribe to Nintendo Power. Check out the coupon inside the front cover of this magazine. I was wondering what the heck a Super Power Stamp was. I thought they were sending you like patches or something like that. It's their version of like Nintendo bucks, I guess, so you can buy gear. That's pretty interesting. Take a photograph of your winning Tetris Attack screen. Be sure your Super NES with the game pack is in the picture. Dim the lights, take a few photos without the flash. Write your name and address and member number on the back of the photo you send in. Epic. All right, going in. What is this? Oscar. Lights, cameras, and lots of action. Can Oscar gain critical acclaim on his way to becoming a big movie star? The stage is set. Meet Oscar, a cute little critter with dreams of achieving star status of the Super NES, created by those game titans at Titus. Oscar combines cool elements from already popular games and has the potential to win over adventure action fans with a simple to master controls, fast and furious gameplay, and 12 stages of filmic fun. A one-player affair, Oscar is certainly an amusing mix of side-scrolling thrills and that wacky Titus sense of humor that players have come to love. It seems like they're trying to jump on the train of animal mascot, essentially. I've never played this before. Oscar. You got two screenshots right down there. And what's this? Points and props. Okay, so this shows some of the things you can get in the game. A yo-yo. This is probably the most powerful prop in the game. If you're fortunate enough to find it, you can use the yo-yo to bop baddies or to break down barriers that are keeping you from other bonuses. With this toy in hand, the game will seem a whole lot simpler. A little throwback to Mike from Star Tropics. Oh, look, a Game Boy. A truly bizarre but completely harmless bonus. This prop imbues foreground objects with strangely familiar shades of pale green. The effect doesn't last long, but it's certainly good for a few laughs. Oh, so you get the Game Boy and it does like a filter on it to make it look like the Game Boy, the pale green color on that. That's pretty neat. Okay. Extra hearts. You could get some springs. Plot twist. For an added plot twist and a chance to earn some extra lives, you should look around every level for letters that are hiding in hard to find film canisters. If you can spell bonus in any stage, you'll get to play an added round where big rewards are waiting. These bonus stages are timed, so pick up as many prizes and points as you can, and then make a mad dash to the exit door before the clock winds down. So it has a movie theme to it, and you're playing as this animal character. Can't say I ever played this one. Again, might have to add it to the list. Oscar. Let me know if you guys played that one before. All right, we got Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey. One of the greats. Keep your stick on the ice won't be the problem once Wayne Gretzky 3D hockey for the N64 is released this fall from Williams Entertainment. But putting the controller down may be next to impossible. This month's N64 Power Play preview goes into the ice to check out the lineup. Nice, definitely must have been exciting. Switching to the 3D for all the hockey fans, maybe playing on Super Nintendo. I never played too many sports games, so didn't play this one. In the goal. Ever since introduced of NBA Jam for the arcades, sports video games have come alive. Part of the attraction of NBA Jam can be attributed to the multiplayer modes and the inclusion of real pro players. But the fantasy shots, easy interface, and breathless action are just as important. Williams Entertainment and the talented development team at Atari Games Corp. have used that formula in the arcade version of Gretzky 3D, but the N64 version of Gretzky includes even more modes and excitement. And it looks like we got a couple screenshots right here of the gameplay. Up to 4 players can face off in the Gretzky 3D. The smart use of large colorful circles and arrows when you're off the screen to denote each active character makes it easy to follow the action. So that's who you're playing as or who has the puck. Or like, okay, I'm green, blue, since you have 4 players, right? Gretzky 3D makes use of the Nintendo 64's power in subtle ways. Virtually everything is textured, mapped, from the jerseys to the logos at the center of the ice. Whether overhead or practically sitting on the ice, the camera positions in Gretzky 3D are dramatic and practical. I like how they're intermixing real photos here with then gameplay photos. Oh, you know what? Yeah, and this is behind the scenes here because I see them here with the camera. They're setting it up. So they're getting some shots for the game itself. So that's kind of unique there. The Great One himself helped the design team in early stages of development. As it turned out, virtually everyone in the arcade development team was a hockey player or a fan. That was great for us, said Ed, because all the design specs were done by guys who really love the sport. The ultimate ice rat may have been Robert Daly, whose development team began work on the arcade game about 2 years ago. In one session with Wayne last year, where am I? 2 years ago, in one session with Wayne last December, Robert and his team discussed 3-on-3 strategies, which led to changes in the game's AI. In March, they videotaped Wayne on the ice skating, shooting, stopping, and turning. Then rotoscoped the footage to make the animation model for the polygonal players in the game. But the best part came after we shot the video. Robert confessed in our Power interview, that's when we played 3-on-3 with Wayne. As a total hockey fanatic, that was a great moment for me. That's pretty cool. Yeah, if you're a hockey fan working on the game, you got freaking Wayne Gretzky in-house right there. You're doing video capturing stuff, and then he's like, yo, why don't we play a little bit? Just us. Definitely cool experience for sure. All right, Kirby Superstar. Nice. We just did a live stream of Kirby's Adventure on the channel, so I'm excited to dive into more Kirby action. I was showcasing the Kirby collection I have on the Nintendo Wii, so maybe you can get into some of these other games here. We got Kirby Superstar on the Super Nintendo. Kirby's back and ready to save Dreamland in Nintendo's Kirby Superstar with 9 different games crammed into one 32 meg battery pack. We only had enough pages to show you the first 3. Stay tuned for more tips and tactics in the next issue of Nintendo Power. 9 games in one pack. Kirby Superstar has 9 different games, including 6 side-scrolling adventures and 3 mini-contests. Every game is ranked with 1 to 5 stars. The more stars, the higher the difficulty level. So there's something for players of all abilities. Pick a short and sweet 2-star game, or endure a grueling 5-star campaign packed with hidden secrets and surprises. If you're curious or confused, each game has a user-friendly tutorial program packed with tips and hints. As you complete each game, you'll be invited to try tougher challenges, including the arena. Take the big gulp. Like the original Kirby's Adventure for NES, Kirby copies the powers of enemies he inhales and swallows. There are over 40 different foes and 20 unique abilities for Kirby to copy. Depending on the foe inhaled and the status of Kirby's energy meter, he might be able to trick his enemies with up to 4 special attacks. Showing some here, the beam, the cutter. The beam weapon is one of the most versatile weapons in Kirby's arsenal. Find out what it does by pressing the start button. The cutter is a sharp-edged boomerang. In addition to using it against enemies, You can also cut ropes, blocking your path. So it shows you, I don't know if you're cutting a rope here or if it's showing you where you get it. King Dedede made off with all the food in Dreamland. It's up to Kirby to save the harvest and change the king's wicked ways. Spring Breeze is a 4-stage game for beginners. So on the difficult scale of 1 to 5, Spring Breeze is ranked a user-friendly 1 star. Float Islands, you got Bubbly Clouds, Mount Deity. Mount Deity is the 4th and final stage in Spring Breeze. This is the short stage consisting of a hallway in the arena where you confront King Dedede. Have a Rocky helper with you and use the bomb ability to finish Dedede off. And here's a great layout of the stage itself. So you can kind of get in the mindset of where you need it to go. Again, I would always do this if I took the magazine to school. I kind of visualize where I would go. Couldn't wait to get out of school to then play this game. Looking at, oh man, yeah, you could go here. You could get this power up. Definitely cool. I love when they put the maps on here like this. And you can kind of see, you know, here's where you can get the jet, the parasol, the ninja, wing, and the wheel. Here's all the stars you can get, the path you needed to go. Very cool. Dyna Blade. Dreamland's tasty crops are being devastated by a feisty fowl named Dyna Blade. Save the harvest by completing the game's 5 stages and plucking Dyna's Blade's feathers. On a skill scale 1 to 5 stars, Dyna Blades ranks a middle of the road 3 stars. And again, gives you a nice layout of all the levels here. What was that? That's the final? Yeah, the final breakdown. Kirby. Looks like Kirby's on a 1 wheel. I guess it's some type of motorbike or motorcycle. Stage 3. Don't get stuck. Lose your life in your hammer inside this room, and you won't be able to break these blocks. If you don't have any items, your only alternative is the reset button. Good thing you were reading your Nintendo Power magazine before this happened to you. Wow. You couldn't even just restart the stage. You got to reset the whole game. They're like, whoops, we kind of messed that up. We'll just throw that as that there. Oh, wow. This has a way new look. Classified information here. They kind of went with this like circuit board backdrop here. I feel like it kind of blends in a little bit. I don't know if I like this here. Maybe you guys are more used to this one here with the later magazine, but this almost looks like a credit card. Classified information. Here's your number. Member identification number. All right, we got Killer Instinct 2. Gargos Lives. Here's the KI2 arcade game code that you've been waiting for. On the player screen, hold up and press forward punch, medium kick, forward kick, medium punch, quick kick, and medium kick. For those who identified attack buttons by number, the sequence is 3, 2, 5, 6, 2, 1, 4, and 5. Gargos will appear in the player's roster next to Maya. Nice, you get to play as one of the bosses there. Ah, real monsters. Silly sounds. To hear some of the game's sound effects, press the A, B, X, and Y buttons on the Nintendo screen, or on the Nickelodeon screen, rather. To make the Grumble blink, press L and R on the pre-stage screen. Booger Man, classic right here. Boss passwords, so it gives you the passwords right here. Hick Boy, Revolta, Flyboy, Deodore Ant, Booger Meister. With these passwords, you can jump straight into the sticky stuff. We got Bassmasters Classic, Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, and Madden 96. Oh, what is this? This is Nosferatu. Almost hard to read this font right here. Nosferatu. Stage select and green crystal refill. We printed a red crystal refill code in volume 84 And now we've got a stage select and green crystal code too. To access the stage select screen, go to the configuration screen and highlight the word exit. Now press L, L, R, 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 L, L, and L. L and R are the L and R buttons, not left and right. Okay, glad they clarified on that. The stage select screen will then appear. To max out your green crystal health meter, first perform a spinning back kick by pressing away and Y simultaneously. Now pause the game. Press up, X, right, A, down, B, left, and Y. Press start to return to the game. With all these codes, you'll have no trouble putting Drac down for the count. Mega Man, what's that? 5, 6, 7. Mega Man 7. Hidden music. Oh, interesting. On the stage select screen, highlight the Shade Man stage and press and hold the B button to hear a hidden melody. Longtime gamers will recognize the tune. This trick works only if you haven't completed the stage. Hint, the music is from a Ghostly Capcom classic, so it's probably Super Ghouls and Ghosts, right? That's pretty interesting. A little Easter egg right there. We got Adventures of Batman and Robin. Oh, even a Virtual Boy game with Red Alert right here. You can see the red screenshot right there. Moving on to Power Rangers Zeo Battle Racers. So it is a competition to Mario Kart, or I guess Diddy Kong Racing. Well, I guess that's coming out in the future with the N64. F-Zero, I guess, right? But Power Rangers. I never got into Power Rangers Zeo, just Mighty Morphin, which was the longest, I want to say, of this series. It was a few years. And then after that, almost every year, it kind of switched themes. Power Rangers Zeo, Power Rangers Time Force, Ninja. There were so many different variations there. But what do we got here? Go, go, Power Rangers! This fall, Bandai is bringing back those popular Power Rangers to the Super NES for some full-throttle thrills. This two-player game pits Rangers against Ranger in a high-speed test around treacherous tracks. Is your chosen Ranger up to the challenge? So it shows their carts here. Blue Ranger, Yellow Ranger, Blue Ranger. Got their bikes right there. So she's in almost like a cart or something. This Ranger likes to blast around the track in a cool little buggy. While it's a slow competitor, this car has great tires for traction. Blue Ranger, this Ranger hover bike is a ton of fun to fly. It may move slowly, and its traction may be next to nothing, but its acceleration is aces. Sounds like that one sucks. Let's stay away from that one. No traction and it's slow. Next. Everyone probably using this one, the motorbike right there. Not only is the Red Ranger's the head honcho, he also has the best bike, an excellent all-around machine. This racer is the choice of champion. See, go with that one there. All right, what do we have? Point racing. You could do verse races, bumper chase. If a hit and run rumble is more to your liking than tearing up laps, check out the bumper chase, where players can battle it out high above the bottomless chasm. Try to outmaneuver your opponent or simply give them a few good bumps to send them barreling into the abyss. And Blaster Master. If you have an itchy trigger finger, there's no better bomb than Blaster Master. The object is to race through an obstacle-riddle arena while plummeting your opponent with missiles. Just 5 direct hits determine who finishes first. So a couple different gameplays right there. Breakdown of Power Rangers Zeo Battle Racers. And what is this? This must be Virtual Boy, right? Is Zeo Racers? Hold on, I never heard of this game. I have a complete set of Virtual Boy games in North America set. This isn't on it. Is this a Japanese game? Zero Racers? Strap on your seatbelt and toss out your driver's license because... Zero Racers ignores the laws of gravity. And man, Nintendo's new Virtual Boy Racer shoots the red light and takes you to the edge of panic. If you like narrow spaces and high-speed chases, Zero Racers will be right up your alley. It's the game Virtual Boy was designed to run. It's kind of giving me Star Fox vibes, right? Remember the rush you got when you first played F-Zero on the Super NES? You leaned and screamed and turned the car around and went shooting back the wrong way just to smack into oncoming cars. Those heady days of hurling mayhem are back again, but this time it's taking place in the territory of that masked stranger known as Virtual Boy. This time you're in a cockpit of a racing rocket, navigating inside tunnel courses in Grand Prix mode. Drivers challenge the entire series of tunnels. Practice mode lets you check out the tracks before the big race and set time records. Since your juiced up jet flies at speeds approaching at 100 kilometers per hour, and the tunnel walls are just a few virtual feet away, there is no room for error. Wow. Okay. Yeah, again, maybe it got canned. I don't know. I know nothing about this game. Zero Racers. Donkey Kong Land 2. We're talking Game Boy right here. Bringing into the action, or swinging into the action once again. Donkey Kong Land 2 is based on Donkey Kong Country 2 for the Super NES. And all of the essential elements that made DK2 so great have been ported over to the 8-bit version. DKL2 is so like its counterpart in play control. You could hop, skip, and stomp onto the other without missing a beat. The level of graphic detail is astounding, and animation is wonderfully smooth. The music has also received the 5-star treatment, and programmers turned out a terrific adaptation of DK2's multi-layered soundtrack. While it has similarities to DKC2, DKL2 has many charms all on its own. The best of both worlds. If the next best thing to a good friend is relatable enemy, then Diddy and Dixie have got made. The best of the worst are back for a return bout with Kong Clan, and they've got some new tactics to add to their old bag of tricks. On the flip side, our Simmons superheroes have retained their signature moves, including Diddy's long range, cartwheel jump, and Dixie's devastating helicopter spin. It looks like it breaks down some other stuff here. K. Rool Keep, some of the levels, the Flying Croc, Crazy Kremlin, Gloomy Glutch. Okay, so in the background here, you could kind of see where you're traversing up, right? So you start at the bottom and you're coming up the map right here. That's pretty neat. Oh, here's a classic for sure. A lot of people talk about this game for sure. We got Marvel Superheroes, War of the Gems, featuring 5 fearless heroes and a story ripped from the pages of Marvel Comics. This one-player Super NES adventure from Capcom will send out shockwaves when it debuts this fall. The price of power. 6 powerful Infinity Gems are scattered around the planet, and it's up to these Marvel superheroes to keep them from the clutches of evil forces. Fighting their way through extreme environments, from lush tropics to frozen tundras, the heroes face nothing but trouble as they make a journey around the earth in search of the precious gems. Who we got for the heroes? We got Spider-Man, Wolverine, the Hulk, Captain America, and Iron Man right there. So just a one-page preview. Yeah. So this is certainly a fun game, and I think it's pretty pricey as well. Marvel Superheroes War of the Gems. Mole Mania on the Game Boy. It's an interesting game here. What do we have here? Nintendo digs down deep, comes up with a winner in Mole Mania for the Game Boy. And Super Game Boy. That's a given. You can just play any Game Boy game on the Super Game Boy. Digger D is a mole with a mission, and nothing will stop him from rescuing his family from the clutches of the evil Jinbei. Digging up trouble. Contrary to what some people might think, Mole Mania has nothing to do with the whack-a-mole games that are so popular in arcades. In fact, this engaging pint-sized puzzler is most reminiscent of the classic Adventure of Lolo series for the NES. As with the Lolo titles, the idea here is to push, pull, and throw objects around the playfield to defeat enemies, clear away obstacles, and open the way to the next part of the maze. It even goes the Lolo series one better by having the added dimension of a lower level that you can use to get around obstacles and escape hazards on the surface. So it gives you some of the breakdown gameplay right here. Never played this one. Fun little puzzle game. Woo, here we go. Super Mario 64 coming out. Here's the preview. N64 wasn't out yet with this issue, right? So we're getting the preview here. You wanted it. You craved it. Now you got it. The most in-depth preview yet of the most anticipated game ever. It's the top. In bringing to 3D life the world's favorite plumber, Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto has his crackerjack team at Nintendo Company have rewritten the book on video games. No video game character has had such variety and freedom of movement until now. No game has ever given players the complete freedom to view the action from any point of view until now. No game has ever combined fine-grained texture maps and fully rendered characters with blazing action until now. The spellbinding story begins when Mario, paying a visit to Princess Toadstool, finds her castle mysteriously vacant. To find out what happened, he'll have to explore every nook and cranny of her marvelous mansion. But that's just the beginning. The action really takes off when Mario hurtles through paintings into strange new worlds, unlike anything you've ever seen before. Hey, this game's so good, it's downright scary. But most of all, it's terrific fun. So take a deep breath, take a long look, and remember, Super Mario 64 debuts next month. Prepare to be blown away. I mean, they're hyping it up. The flagship game, right? Also, quick shout out. I didn't specify here. My shirt is from Woodman's Classic. I was just at Southeast Game Exchange and I picked up this shirt right here. It's got a nice print to it of Nintendo Power all over design on it. I don't know, maybe this will be my staple shirt to wear while we're diving into Nintendo Power, as he does great work. I have Nintendo Power sweatpants from him as well. So quick shout out, Woodman's Classic. Let's get back to Mario 64 right here. A Mario for all seasons. Each leap through a picture in the Princess Castle takes Mario into a fantastic new world. Imagine Mario slipping and sliding around the hairpin turns of an ice-covered mountain, or swimming behind a rocky outcropping to evade a ravenous sea monster. Super Mario games have always had terrific play control, but the movement in this game will knock your socks off into another dimension. The indigenous control stick gives you pinpoint control as you move through 3 dimensions. Go on, get lost in Super Mario 64. It's the most magical journey you've ever taken. And you get some screenshots right here of a water level, snow level, sand, spooky, and some lava as well. Yeah. Looking at these screenshots, definitely would be excited to play this game. You get a little bit of some artwork around here. Exotic encounters. Family, friends, and foes get all new capabilities in Super Mario 64. Toad haunts odd corners of the castle, always ready with a piece of friendly advice. Creep slowly by the napping piranha plants, lest you wake them, and keep checking your back whenever Goombas and Bob-ombs appear. They love to circle behind and ambush you. You get a couple screenshots of gameplay right here. Baddie bonuses. Snowbound Mario can grab a stellar prize and a quick trip aloft from a couple of polent passengers by. In the desert, a larcenous condor leads the way to a major treasure, while a fast-growing Pokey guards a precious blue coin with his needles. Brawl with Bowser. You think Mario's the only one with all new powers? Guess again. The King of Koopas had been practicing all new ways to terrorize Mario. Sure, he moves slowly, but he hits like 10 tons of 3D bricks. To make things worse, you have to put up with Bowser's gloating every time Mario loses a life. Mwahahaha. So it shows him grabbing him by the tail there with your strategy. Mario's amazing moves. Stretch your skills on the castle grounds, climbing trees and taking a dip in the moat. When you first reach the castle, send Mario leaping into balconies, bouncing off banisters, and flying across the floor. Hey, astonishing acrobats are just part of Mario's motion sickness. Vault through a picture, then bump up against the treasure box. At the drop of a plumber's cap, Mario can swoop, soar, or sink like a stone. He can even hitch a ride with a passing owl. So here's some of his hat tricks. An unseen haberdasher has hidden wondrous caps in treasure boxes throughout Super Mario 64. Put on a vanishing cap to stroll through solid walls and take to the skies with the wing cap. Metalhead Mario sports a shiny metal cap. Not only does it render him practically invincible, it allows him to sink like a stone in water. These short-lived power-ups, or super power-ups, make for some of the giddiest moments in the game. When they wear off, though, Mario is in danger of an awful fall. We got a couple more tips and tricks here. Hurry Treasure. So it gives you a lot of good breakdowns on where to get some stuff in different levels. Oh, and we have our, looks like our poster. It folds out a little bit different here now. Pilot wings. I don't know if I like that or the other version, how they fold out. Fair enough. I do like the blueprints that they have here. Graphics of breaking down the levels this way. Might be easier to figure out where you're going because it's 3D space, right? Roll them. This area here. Your first trip through a picture takes you to a cannonball clogged land. Defang the big chomp and overthrow the big bomb. But don't get dizzy on your way to his mountaintop hideout. You got Fire Bubble Land, Just the Desert, Caveman Bowser Part 1. The King of the Koopas doesn't like you poking around the castle vault, so he decides to lock the door. Hide away in an upstairs bedroom and wait for you to claim the key. It's a perilous climb. Interesting. So definitely a great look at Super Mario 64. They go in depth with a lot of the power-ups and things that you can get, getting you ready and excited for the new game and the new system to come out. Epic Center. I think this is a new... Is this a new segment or is this a game? What is this? I think it might be a game. Epic Center contains epic news. Oh, maybe not. So it breaks down. Okay, Epic Center. This is what we have in the Epic Center. They got our news right here. Then we're looking at Fire Emblem, NES Epics, and Epic Strategies. Theme Park. Ocean of America hasn't managed to bring this strategy simulation game out in North America, but it looks as if another publisher may get the chance. Epic News has been following a potential deal for several months that would bring Theme Park to our strategy-starved content. Based on the cult hit computer game of the same name, the Super NES version of Theme Park recreates a quirky, in-depth world in which you build, own, and operate a theme park. Your job is to turn a profit, then go on to build bigger, more elaborate theme parks around the world. Let's hope you get the chance to play it. Our fingers are crossed. Sourcing Hyrule. For those of you who trek into cyber worlds such as America Online, if you got those free discs of 500 hours, you can jump on the internet. You may have discovered the latest interactive story in Nintendo Power Source entitled Hyrulean Adventure, based on the people, monsters, and stories of Hyrule from the Zelda series of adventure games. This interactive story has been up and running for about a month and a half. In the first 5 days alone, Hyrulean Adventure racked up more than 2,500 chapters from hundreds of writers. Like the other interactive stories in Power Source, Hyrulean Adventure is a free-form role-playing story in which anyone could create a character by following a limited set of rules. Besides the folders containing stories and deterring do, and Magic players can stop in and see what's happening at the always raunchous Turtle Rockin'. Familiar characters playing their part in Hyrule Adventure have ranged from wizrobes to a race of industrious monsters or monkeys. If you're connected to AOL, definitely check it out. I've never heard of this before, so I wonder if there's some videos online of this. It's like you could make your own Zelda bootleg game. I don't understand what's happening with it. Myth and Monsters. What is this? All is quiet on the Western Front when it comes to RPGs these games. As a result of roving epic news, I has turned to the land of Rising Sun. With the advent of new game systems, has not dimmed the Super Famicom as the premier platform for epic games. In addition to titles mentioned below, don't miss this month's overseas look at the Fire Emblem series from Japan and the new Fire Emblem 4. Hudson's Big Shell Monster 2, due out this summer, is a rough translation of the title of a 40 megabit RPG from Hudson Soft in Japan. So here's a quick look at Fire Emblem. A innovative strategy series from Japan gets even better. Certainly love the artwork down here of all the characters. This is great. In 1990, Nintendo Co. Ltd. took a chance on an unusual game designed by Nintendo and Intellectic Systems. Its combined strategy and RPG features is a unique, sprawling epic. Fire Emblem became a cult classic, spawning 3 sequels to date. Now, Epic Center takes you a world away to explore this fantasy realm for the Super Famicom. So it gives you a couple of screenshots right here. Again, these really make it stand out in detail, all this awesome art. That's what I would be looking at for sure. Getting excited for the game. And what do we have here? Classic epics. The term classic has been used to describe everything from literature to cars, and yes, even video games. Join us as we take a look at a collection of 8-bit NES epics that helped shape a growing industry and captured the imagination of generation players. Nice. All right, so we got starting the trends. Webster Dictionary defines classic as serving as a standard of excellence and being noted because of special historical associations. While some over-seriously people might balk at describing any video game as a classic, we game players know that there are a number of titles that truly deserve the accolade. So what makes a game classic? These days, it seems to have full motion video, digital sound, and a holographic projector to register even a blip in the gaming press. Once you get past all the hype, though, the primary elements that make a good game are the same as they always been. If it doesn't have the interesting plot or intuitive play control, no amount of technology trickery will fool you into thinking 3D Mutant Zombie Killers 4 is a good game. There's no doubt that having a bit of eye candy in the game is always a plus, but having a lot of mind candy is what keeps players coming back. People play games to be challenged and entertained, no matter the platform, no matter the number of bits. If a game is challenging and fun, players will flock to it. It's no wonder then that such benchmark titles as The Legend of Zelda, Dragon Warrior, Shadowgate, and Nubunga's Ambition are still enjoyed the world's over. These games are no longer on the cutting edge, but they set the standards for quality for the dozens of titles that followed, and they inspired the major themes and trends that still drive the epic genre today. It's doubtful that these games will be readily available in stores, but if you're one of the deprived few who have never partaken on Link's first adventure or walked the Adric's footsteps in the glory days of Alphagard, you'll be doing yourself a favor to rent, borrow, or buy any copies you could get your hands on. They may be a bit, but they are all classic to the core. So they're the retro games before they were retro games, right? So it's like the originals going back. We're already at N64. You're 3 generations in, so checking out the NES titles here is great. So Legend of Zelda made the list. The Adventure of Link as well. Solstice, Crystallis as well. Is there more than one page? Some of the role-playing games here. Or I think is that a new segment of role-playing? Yeah, I think they're just breaking down some of the role-playing games. Dragon Warrior 2, giving a breakdown of that. Wizardry, Final Fantasy. Some interactive stories. Most epic games are often about earth-shattering events, but interactive games are usually more sharply and intimately focused. Who cares about wizards taking over the world? We just want to get out of the room alive. We got Maniac Mansion right here. Epic games tend to be melodramatic, but Maniac Mansion was played strictly for laughs and a hilarious, entertaining romp it turned out to be. Arrayed against your party of quirky teenagers was a gallery of whacked-out mutants and ETs, including, of course, a mad scientist, a zombified nurse, a guitar-playing tentacle, and a malevolently intelligent meteor. The composition of your party affected the course of the game, and there were 4 ways to successfully complete it. Negotiating a publishing contract for the megalomaniac meteor, and a feeding a man-eating plant soda and radioactive water were the solutions to just 2 of the off-the-wall situations you had to resolve. Maniac Mansion was a funky blend of schlockly, horror, and humor, and unfortunately, there have been few games like it since. Moving on to more strategies, we got Orc Battle. A heavy breakdown of that game right there. Again, pretty RPG heavy on this issue for sure. Oh, is this all Orc Battle? Wow. Okay, so they give you quite the breakdown. A little hard to read with this branding in the background, I'd say. Right? I'd be happy for a clean page. Epic strategy. They want to make sure you know you are on the epic strategy right there. The future is now. Nintendo 64 launches in Japan. Look how sweet this box is. This box art is awesome with the colors, almost like neon looking. On June 23rd, the Nintendo 64 went on sale in Japan, changing the face of video gaming forever. Nintendo Power's roving eye took in the monumental event just to give you a taste of what to expect on September 30th. When the Nintendo 64 arrives on this side of the Pacific. The sellout! When the Nintendo 64 hit the streets of Japan, it was often running out the doors practically before it arrived. The initial 500,000 units sold out in just 1 week. Many went to gamers who previously put down their 2,500 yen, or about $250. The remaining Nintendo 64 units were snatched up by dedicated fans. Some of those fans waited overnight on the first day in long, orderly lines outside major department and electronic stores. in order to ensure that they would get one of the first Nintendo 64s. In some stores, the clerks didn't have time to put the games out on the shelves. They took the units directly out of the packing cases and handed them to the eager customers. Reportedly, 20,000 retail outlets received N64s for sale, but clearly, the 500,000 units available were not enough to meet the demand. Nintendo Power's representatives in Tokyo had a desperate moment when he got turned around in the Shinjuku district and couldn't find either the store or the line where he could buy an N64. Fortunately, one of his colleagues managed to snag one of the precious units. Of the enterprising gamers who pre-ordered their N64s, many of them took advantage of a new program whereby Nintendo offered the system through the Lawson chain of neighborhood convenience stores. Instead of having to travel to the big department stores, buyers picked up their N64s just down the block. That's pretty interesting. So instead of driving to Best Buy or Circuit City or whatever big box store, you go to the local convenience store. You grab some snacks, pick up your N64. We got a nice promo poster right here. This Nintendo 64 ad in Nihon Kensenzai Shimbun, Japan's equivalent of the Wall Street Journal, says it all and then some. The model in the photo is actually Master Habo, the Japanese Shogun champion. The guy at his shoulder needs no intro. Together, apparently, they're going to change the world. So it has translation. This wonderful, amazing thing changes history. Translation: with the 3D joystick on the new N64 controller, you can control Mario at your will. This game has changed. N64 makes the difference. Nice. And we got some screenshots here of some kids trying the N64. Nice. Breakdown of day one, Tokyo right here. It's showing some of the games that came out. Pilot Wing 64, Mario 64. The faithful lineup in the streets of Akihabara, the electronics district in Tokyo, to pick up the N64s. Inside stores like LAOX, gamers found stacks of the most anticipated game system in the world. Nice. There's some of the boxes there. They're scanning the games. They got a bunch of TVs set up so you could try out the games. Very cool. FIFA Soccer 97. It's a soccer game. I mean, some people enjoy it. I never played the soccer games. They got a few pages. This is on the Game Boy too? Okay. So you get soccer on the go on the Game Boy. Game Boy Color too, must be, because obviously this is in color. Urban Strike on the Game Boy. Okay. The sequel to Jungle Strike. Fun and Gun. Here's your co-pilots. I never played these games before. Taking a helicopter, going around doing some missions, blowing stuff up. And it's in this isometric view. I don't know how well I would enjoy it on the Game Boy, though. I know they came out on Super Nintendo as well, so who knows? Maybe it's all right on the Game Boy. We got Counselor Corners. DK2 Diddy Kong Quest. How do I start a 2-player game? What? Who's asking that question? You must have an empty file before you can start a 2-player game. Select the vacant file and verify that both controllers are plugged into your Super NES. After selecting file, you can access 2-player mode and alternate play between Diddy and Dixie. Some unlicensed controllers do not work with this game. Make sure you purchase controllers that have official Nintendo seal of quality on the box. They work. They're just trying to get you to buy their first-party controllers. But you could get those janky third-party ones, and they'll work just fine, all right? Nintendo, I don't know who you're trying to fool. Oh, okay, here we go. Chrono Trigger. There we go. We got Chrono right there. Where can I find the race log? The race log is in Lab 32 in 2300 AD from the location where you first encountered the racer. Johnny, walk right one screen and fight 3 enemies. If you walk just a little farther, you'll see a small metal chest. Open the box and take the race log. To use the race log, talk to Johnny. He'll introduce you to a robot who will keep track of your race scores for you. How do I change my character's name? And how do I get the elemental weapons? You can't get the elemental weapons inside the Blue Pyramid in 1200 BC or AD 600. But you can find them in the forest ruins in AD 1000 after your pendant is powered up. The mammoth machine at the Zeal Palace in 1200 BC powers up the pendant. When you return to the forest ruins, the pendant will lower the pyramid's shield. Inside, you can choose between 2 chests, one with the safe helm and the other with the swallow sword. The safe helm can be used by anyone, while the powerful swallow sword is strictly for Chrono. We got Eye of the Beholder, some tips and tricks there. Kirby's Dream Land 2, a couple breakdowns as well. The Incredible Shrinking Game Boy. More fun than ever. Nice. They're talking about the Game Boy Pocket, obviously. Redmond, Washington. Nintendo has made one of the boldest scientific advancements in video game history. The creation of the Game Boy Pocket. Nintendo engineers successfully reduced the size of the Game Boy by 30% and cut its weight in half. Small enough to fit in the palm of your hand, the Game Boy Pocket brings a fresh look and even more portability to the handheld gaming market. Along with its sleek lines and new matte silver finish, the understated gray buttons added a sophisticated high-tech edge to an already winning design. In keeping with the focus on things, small Game Boy Pocket operates on 2 AAA size batteries for approximately 10 hours of personalized size gameplay. Vivid images, new opportunities. Plays all the Game Boy games 30% smaller, a clearer screen, cool silver finish. It still wasn't backlit, unfortunately, there. But I do like the new set. Actual size. Okay. I do like that they printed that there. Yeah. 4.5 inches that way, 3 inches that way. I don't know if I have a Game Boy Pocket or not. I think I just have the regular Game Boy. What's over here? Oh, what do you know? It is a Pocket. We got the Game Boy Pocket right here with the camera. This is a red Game Boy Pocket that came out a little bit here. So, well, it's a little bigger. I mean, it should have came out a little bit there, but that's pretty close for actual size right there. Feels good in the hands. And I do like that they did these cameras with the matching color scheme. So you're like, I want a blue camera, red camera, or whatever. Sweet. Okay, I dig it. Oh, we get an even more breakdown of it. Okay. Amazing technological breakthrough. So you got the original Game Boy, your Pocket right there. How many Game Boy games have been sold to date? It looks like the answer is 218 million and counting. A bazillion was answer C. There have been startling advances in computer design and manufacturing in the years since the original Game Boy's release. And Nintendo's engineers have taken ample advantage of them to create Game Boy Pocket. The Game Boy Pocket is usually cited as being about 30% smaller than the original, but this is only talking the area, height, and width into account. When you calculate the volume, height, width, and depth of the new unit, it's about half the size of its predecessor. At the same time, Game Boy Pocket gives up nothing in performance. Nice. What other questions we got here? How many Game Boy Pockets would it take to fill the Earth? Okay, if it was hollow. Answer is B. I don't even know how to read this. 3,224,493,803.5 times 10 to the 11th power. That's how many. Gamers get small and inherit Earth. Whoever said bigger is better never tried to carry it around in his pocket. Try stuffing a Saint Bernard in there if you don't believe this. What do you got some Janko jeans on? You're putting a Saint Bernard in your pants? If it fits in your lifestyle, no matter what you do or wherever you go, the smaller the better. Game Boy Pocket is the smallest video game system around. Even the price is small, and it makes it smart. Smart and small. Maybe you never thought you'd want to get small, but it's the size that fits. It's the size of the future. And with Game Boy Pocket, it's the size of today. Act now and grab your new Game Boy Pocket at a local Funko Land or electronic gaming boutique. Moving on to Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest right here. Beat the bosses. Why is there Bowser right there? It's back. Read on and make a mental note or two because this might be the last time we show you the secret. Monkeying around with K. Rool. Is there a way to get him to turn into Bowser? K. Rool has 3 strategies for defeating Dixie and Diddy. In each case, he shoots at you. If you dodge the flying projectiles, you'll find a cannonball. If you toss the cannonball into the gun, as it tries to suck you up, it will backfire. Do this 9 times and you'll win the game. I think they're just showing bad guys like around here and giving you the strategies to beat said game. We got Super Punch Out, how to beat some of the contenders there. Adventure Island 2, again with Nosferatu. Wow, Castlevania Dracula X right here. The day Drag saw his shadow. Like all 6 predecessor Castlevania games, Dracula is the final enemy in Dracula X, although some players would argue that this count is the toughest of them all. Try to conserve your axe power until Dracula changes into his second sinister form. Only the strong survive in the arena. What is this new segment here? Chrono Trigger's up there, though. While Nintendo Power Contest winner Matthew Werner was kicking back with the Power Staff at E3 in Los Angeles, we asked him if he had any ideas for the Arena Challenge. How about the best time on the speeder bikes in Chrono Trigger, he suggested. Sounds cool to us. The 25 race logs with the most points win 4 power stamps. Send in a photo of your race log. If you don't know where to find the race log, check out page 83 in this month's counselor. Maybe that's why they kind of planted that there to be like, we'll put this here in case people don't know where it is. It's an easy way to explain it. Challenge 1, we got Killer Instinct. Adam Pritchard of Bennett, North Carolina, made it all the way to the end of Killer Instinct on the toughest difficulty mode without using a single continue. How do we know? He sent a rockin' photo of his accomplishment with the Super NES in the photo, of course. Are you good enough to play at Adam's level? Send your picture of the end screen showing the number of continues used to the arena. The top 25 fighters can hold their heads high and score 4 power stamps. So right down there, it does show 2 on there, so you got to have 0. Challenge 2, Yoshi's Island. Here's a challenge everyone has been asking for. Since we started the Yoshi Island Challenge series, we've asked players to send in their 100% scores for specific worlds. Some of you have sent in photos of all 6 worlds. Don't send in 6 photos. If you completed all 6 worlds at 100%, you'll see 6 gold stars at the top of the title screen. The first 50 players sending photos of the 6 gold stars on the title screen will win 4 power stamps. And it shows the stars right there. That's the picture you want to be getting. I'm not sure if I like this darker color scheme they got going here. Can you complete the Tunnel Rhino stage first in Mega Man X3? Did anyone from Connecticut do so? Doing a quick thumb through here. I don't see anyone. Nope. looks like where I'm at, no one completed any of these challenges here. But this is the same thing where you would send in your high score or challenge, and they would print your name there. Now playing your power guide to the latest releases, August 1996. We got Battlezone / Super Break on the Game Boy, Mr. Do on Super NES, Oscar, that's what we were talking about in the beginning of the episode, is out September 1996. Of course, Tetris Attack as well. Those are kind of the games that were coming up. And Pack Watch, the inside source on future games. They're giving you a couple breakdowns here as we finish up the magazine of what games are near in the future to get excited for. On the N64, Blast Corps. With the passing of the Cold War, many people think that the nuclear nightmare is no longer a possibility. Not the programmers at Rare, though. They look forward to a very rosy future. Indeed, missile carriers wandering loose over the countryside, radiation leaking everywhere, and the whole mess threatening to go nuclear if it hits a speed bump. The game element in this apocalyptic scenario is that you get to clear the path in front of the missile carrier so that no one ends up glowing like a neon sign. There's something very satisfying about knocking down buildings, but the real thrill comes from this sense of impending doom. So you get a couple screenshots there of that. Realm. I think I've seen a little bit of gameplay of this here. Publisher Titus. Developer Flare. If shooting, jumping, tons of weapon power-ups, and never-ending action get your control thumb itching, then Realm from Titus will seem like heaven. It also seems like one of the old Contra games for the NES, a side-scrolling blaster with seemingly no end in sight. The hero of Realm is a futuristic warrior who grabs new weapons wherever he can, finds them, and fills up his life meter at every chance. Although the graphics look like Euro tunes, don't let them fool you. The action-crazed programmers from across the Atlantic don't know the meaning of the phrase easy going. We first reported the development of Realm almost 2 years ago. But even if it's late, the game is just in time for action fans who haven't had much to chew on the last 6 months. Titus hopes to release this Super NES game to the public by the end of September. Then we got Prince of Persia 2 right down here. Looks pretty good. More daring to do in the desert is on its way from fall. Titus in the form of Prince of Persia 2 for the Super NES. If you're familiar with the original Prince of Persia in the Game Boy or Super NES version from Konami, you know that the secret to success is the mix of fighting and avoiding traps. Prince of Persia 2 follows the same formula, but the graphics are improved and there's more variety in the stages. Potentially, patents should beware of the play control. Like the previous chapters of Prince, the smooth animation comes at the price of awkward, unforgiving control. In spite of its problems, the game captivated your Pack Watch editors to earn the game a preview in the next issue of Power. Top Gear Rally coming out. Nice little racing game. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Awesome. Feast your orbs on the first Super NES shots of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 from Williams Entertainment. The fourth MK game in as many years also packs in the most action and the best graphics. It may not blow away the arcade game like Mortal Kombat Trilogy for the N64, but it does a good job of challenging the quarter muncher at every turn. The characters and two-player action are here, plus the codes, fatalities, babalities, and other trademark moves that keep the MK games fresh for millions of fans. As you can see in the screenshots received from Williams, the game also contains the new backgrounds from the Desert, Underworld, and Vortex. This should be one of the hottest 16-bit titles of the year once it's released this fall. That's awesome. Yeah, loving the screenshots there. I played this a little bit in the arcade, mostly Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, but I did play a little bit of 3. They added that run button, and you could do some of the combos and stuff. I'll have to get back into some of the fighting games. They are releasing the new Mortal Kombat collection, which this will be on here, and they talked about the N64 trilogy getting all the games there. And they're like, yeah, maybe you want to get that one. And we got Wiz. Never played this one. Looks like you're a rabbit running around in an isometric view. Inspired update. Insider, not inspired. Insider update. The N64 in Japan. Development for the N64 games in Japan has been one of the great mysteries of the origin till now. Packwatch has been digging for information with their Japanese contacts and can now report on several exciting N64 developments taking place in Japan. The biggest news may be that Konami has 5 N64 titles in the works. Gooman Adventure, which is a sequel to the popular Super Famicom series Baseball, Golf, Soccer, and Mahjong. At this time, the U.S. subsidiary of Konami has not commented on whether these games will appear in North America. We'll leave that speculation to you. Imagineer, another longtime Nintendo third-party publisher, showed off early shots of its N64 baseball game shown here. The polygon players and ballparks were highly detailed in a fun, cartoonish style. What else they got? Nintendo goes Disney. Nintendo America has agreed to pick up several Disney interactive titles for release this fall for the Super NES. 2 of the 3 titles, Maui Mallard and Disney's Pinocchio, were doubtful releases from DI. Toy Story, the 3rd game, will be re-released, as reported in Packwatch previously. All 3 games have the stunning graphics that you would expect from a Disney product. Maui Mallard, aka Mojo Rising, stars a private investigator played in a hammy fashion by Donald Duck. Maui uses a host of powerful power-ups, a cool ninja moves to solve the mystery of the Mojo idols. Definitely a fun one for sure. We got Game Boy choices. Nintendo Player's Choice series of classic games expands the Game Boy this fall, when 5 classy titles will be brought back for their video game encores. Included this award-winning company are Super Mario Land 2, 6 Golden Coins, Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3, Donkey Kong 94, Mega Man, first release from Capcom, and Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle, originally published by Kamiko Sika. So you're getting some good Game Boy games as well. Here's your release forecast. They break down what games are coming out for the N64, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, and even Virtual Boy. We got Bound High, Dragon Hopper, and Zero Racers. Never heard of those games before. Never heard of those. So those must have been maybe Japanese only games and they never came here. Maybe they're saying that they're coming out in fall. So I don't know what happened with that with the Virtual Boy. And it looks like we got an ad right here for a contest. Circle in for a landing. Pilot Wing 64. What do we get? Players poll contest. Fill out your players poll. Your grand prize is a trip for 4 to one of the famous landmarks featured in Pilot Wing 64. Mount Rushmore, Cape Canaveral, Washington, D.C., Hollywood, California, or Seattle. You just might be one to signal power control of the choice of destination for your family. Take your pick of rock out at Mount Rushmore, stargaze in Hollywood, shuttle down to Cape Canaveral, hop noob at the Capitol, or sightsee from the Space Needle. The flight's on us, plus 4 nights lodging and $500 to spend while you're there. Plus, we'll throw in Pilot Wings 64 upon your return. And then 5 second prize winners get Pilot Wings 64. Kyosho Hyperfly radio-controlled 2-channel helicopter. Oh, you get this little helicopter too. This electric-powered beauty even hovers in headwind. And then third prize, 50 winners get a Nintendo Power t-shirt. Sport the threads of Team Power. It looks like it has Donkey Kong with Diddy and Dixie on there. Some green sleeves, kind of looking like a baseball tee. Coming up in the next issue, Volume 88, September 1996. It's here in September. It's the most incredible video game system ever. In-depth N64 coverage begins with Super Mario 64, Pilot Wing 64, and Cruisin' USA. There's also previews of Turok Dinosaur Hunter for the N64 and Donkey Kong Country 3, as well as Prince of Persia 2 for the Super NES. Here's your back issues if you did want to get some Nintendo Power back issues. $5.50 a piece. Or you could do a set. This is interesting. Get volumes 1 through 6 for $24 or 13 through 19. So a way to kind of bulk up on some of your issues. Well, look at what we have here. A little ad for Virtual Boy. Wow, this is cool. I got to get a picture of this and post this. Don't see much Virtual Boy stuff for sure. New low fare to the third dimension. Only $99. They dropped the price. $100. They want you to bring it to the beach, apparently, with this ad right here. Want to go somewhere really cool this summer? How about a trip to the third dimension? Now you can get there for just $99. Imagine sticking your head into an entirely different world. With its 32-bit technology, stereo sound, and lots of great games, with new games coming this summer, the Virtual Boy system can take you places you've never been. Hey, for $99, you've never had this much fun. And then it shows where you could pick it up. Babbage's, Best Buy, Electronic Boutique, Fred Meyer's, Hills, KB, Nobody Beats the Wiz, Sears, Software, etc., Target, Toys R Us, and Walmart. Grab your Virtual Boy. Fun, fun, fun. Killer Instinct for the N64. Incredible moves, killer speed, powerful fun. Doesn't get any tougher. N64, the fun machine. It will take you beyond belief, inside the games, over the edge. Get focused on fun. Be the first to get the N64 in your hands, coming this fall. That wraps up the issue. Volume 87, August. So awesome to go through these old Nintendo Power magazines. I hope you guys enjoy the in-depth look at these magazines. And I kind of bounce all over. I do try to stay in the month that we are at, but I'll skip to a different year. And let me guys know if you do want me to check out other retro magazines. I have Game Informer, Electronic Boutique, and a few other classic magazines. So I might put out another series with that. And I know you guys enjoy the Nintendo Power, so we'll keep those coming weekly. If you guys did miss any of the episodes, I can put a link right up here to a playlist of past episodes. Thanks so much for hanging out here, guys, on Russ's Retro Reads. As always, I'm Russly, and keep your world fun bit by bit. I'll see you guys next video.